Hello everyone, I am Dr. Garima Srivastava, School of Business Management, MUIT, Noida. I am going to talk on the topic of contract and its essential elements. Coming on to my topic, Indian Contract Act 1872 states that a contract is an agreement which is enforceable by law. So very clearly we are able to understand that the contract consists of an agreement and its enforceability is important. So over here, we need to understand what an agreement is. Agreement means a set of promises or common terms and conditions which both the parties consent to. For a contract, at least two parties are required. So these two parties consent on the same terms and conditions and they come to an agreement, and this mutual agreement, when becomes enforceable, is called a contract. Over here, I want to explain enforceability by law. By enforceability, it means we can go with a claim in the court that this particular contract has been breached. Any of the parties can go to the court. So this creates a legal intention in the minds of both the parties that they have to complete the terms and conditions of the contract within the set time period. So enforceability also states that certain essential elements should be present in the contract. Absence of any of the essential element will lead to invalidity of the contract. So understanding these essential elements is a more important aspect. The very first essential element is offer. So over here, when we talk about offer, it means an offer or a proposal that is being given by the first party to the second party. In this proposal, the first party offers something, proposes something to the second party. The second party accepts these particular offers or promises and then come to a mutual consent between both the parties. Second particular essential element is acceptance by the offeree. Over here, the two parties that we are talking about, one is the offerer who makes the offer or proposes, and the second party is the offeree who is accepting the offer. So about acceptance, the other party must accept the offer. Offer and acceptance always go hand in hand. These offer and acceptance can be done by mail or in written form or on telephonic talk. Coming on to my next essential element, that is the third essential element, consideration. So when I am talking about consideration, it is a worth that is considered in the contract. It is a value that one party is going to give to the other party. Both the parties will be having certain consideration. So we can say it refers to something of value or worth for one party in a contract that gives the promises to cover this worth to the other party. We can also say it as bargained for exchange. When I talk about consideration, we are talking about some worth which will be exchanged between both the parties based on certain terms and conditions of the contract. The next essential elements we are talking about is intention to create legal relationship. Parties that intend to get into a contract must create a legal relationship between themselves, and both the parties should be having an intention to create this legal aspect of the contract, because when we do not create this legal intention, the parties cannot claim the damages against each other. So there must always be an evidence that says that the parties intended for the agreement. That means this evidence can be proved by certain witnesses, signature of the witnesses on the contract, and certain notaries that need to be stamped on the contract. Now when I am talking about the next essential aspect, that is about capacity to contract. Here we are talking about the capacity of both the parties, the offerer and the offeree. Capacities means competencies of both the parties to contract. There are certain legal terms which need to be satisfied by both the parties to be competent to enter into a contract. The very first one is age of majority. In India, we talk about 18 years or above as the age of majority. So a minor person, that is a person who is below the age of 18 years, cannot enter into a contract at all. A minor cannot be submissive for a contract. Then second is sound mind. The presence of sound mind by both the parties are important. A person must be mentally and physically fit and competent to understand the terms and conditions of the contract. It means he should be able to justify all the terms and conditions. He should be able to understand the pros and cons of the contract, and then only he can enter into the contract. There means a person who is under the influence of alcohol or who is mentally unstable cannot enter into a contract at all. The third point where we talk about is the legal disqualifications. The legal disqualifications applied to both the parties, the offerer and the offeree, and it states that any of the party, if it has been declared a convict in the court, or if he has been disqualified by any law, then he cannot enter into a contract. So these 3 points cover the competencies of the parties to contract. The sixth essential element we are talking about is certainty and possibility of the contract. Of course, the terms and conditions need to be discussed beforehand while entering into the contract. This has to be done by both the parties on their own ends. So, the first point that we are talking about is certainty. That means the terms and conditions should contain exact values, should describe the exact values. If it is in numbers, it should discuss the different words or values in details which it is talking about. So, certainty means predictability. First of all, if we are entering into any contract, the terms and conditions of the contract should be predictable enough, should be certain enough. If uncertainty lies, suppose a farmer is growing crops on a land and he says 100 tons of wheat is going to grow in the next year, for which I am going to pay this much for you. Now, the certainty of happening of growing of 100 tons of wheat is somewhat questionable. So, over here, we need to understand that if we are talking about certain terms and conditions in the contract, it should be predictable enough either in terms of numbers or numerical values, or it should be predictable in terms of relations or some different points. Secondly, we are talking about disagreements. Certainty reduces the chances of disagreements between the parties. So, if we are talking about disagreements between the two parties, suppose the two parties agreed on certain terms and conditions on the first hand, but during the performance of the contract, one of the party got breached, or one of the party didn't further claim for the performance. So, over there disagreements happen, and due to this disagreement which is not certain enough, the contracts cannot be converted into a valid contract. So, this disagreement for both the parties cannot happen. Third is enforcement. When we are talking about enforcement, we are talking about certainty of laws. That means the contract or the different terms and conditions of the contract should not consist of anything that cannot be enforced, or it has been prohibited by certain laws in some other acts. So, both the parties should keep in mind before entering into a contract that the term of enforcement and creation of legal intention for legal relationship should be done. Coming on to my next essential element, that is free consent. Now, we are talking about free consent. Consent means will to enter into agreement with the other party. Now, we are also adding a word free. This free means both the parties should be freely willing to enter into different terms and conditions of the contract. For this, we need to understand the various points which come under the free consent. First is coercion. Coercion is described in section 15. It says forcing someone to enter into a contract through threats, violence or unlawful acts. So, these 3 points need to be focused over here. So, section 15 clearly states that if one of the party forces the other party to enter into the contract under coercion, it is completely invalid, and we can also say that if coercion comes into the contract becomes invalid, and thus it becomes illegal also, because it consists of threats, it consists of violence, which is also an offense in Indian Penal Code. Secondly, if we talk about undue influence, it is just opposite of coercion. Undue influence means using a dominant position to manipulate someone's decision-making capacity. It is described in section number 16. Over here, certain relationships are there in the society which creates a dominant position of first party on the other party, and under this particular dominance, the second party gets into the contract with the first party. We can, for example, we can go for doctor-patient relationship, we can go for lawyer and client relationship, guru and disciple relationship. These relationships are somewhat questionable because the second party is always influenced by the knowledge or aura of the first party, and due to that undue influence it gets into, the second party gets into the contract with the first party. Over here, the burden of proof has to be given by the stronger party, that means teacher, lawyer or guru. He has to give this burden of proof that he has not created any kind of undue influence for entering the second person into the contract. Moving ahead, we can say the fraud which is given in section number 17. It is also considered under free consent. That means a contract should always be free of fraud and misrepresentation. The next topic if we talk about, both of them contains a very big difference of intention. Over here, if I talk about fraud, it says it is a complete intention to deceive the other party. That means fraud is committed only when if one party has the intention to deceive the other party and he gives false information to the second party to enter into the contract. Now, if we talk about misrepresentation, the actual facts are also not known by the first party, or we can say the first party assumes that the fact he knows is correct and he disseminates this information to the second party as a false information. The second party understands this information and gets a clear misrepresentation and gets into the contract. So, if we talk about fraud and misrepresentation, the intention is very important. The clear intention to deceive can be called as fraud, which makes the contract invalid and illegal also. But if we talk about misrepresentation, the clear intention is not to deceive the second party. We are just giving the information because we assume that this particular information is correct on my part. Maybe it is correct or not. So, in that case, misrepresentation happens, which makes the contract to be invalid. The last point I am talking about is mistake, that is being given in section 2022. It is also covered under Contract Act, and it states two types of mistake as to facts and mistake as to laws. Now, if we talk about both the kinds of mistake, they happen when we prepare the contract, when we prepare the different terms and conditions of the contract. Now, if I talk about mistake as to law, now over here, mistake as to law means I am including certain terms and conditions which are already prohibited in some other law. For example, if I talk about a contract marriage, it is completely prohibited under Marriage Act. But if I come into a contract with a certain person through contract, this kind of contract cannot be enforced at all because it is invalid, and it is illegal also because it is a mistake of law. Secondly, if I talk about mistake of facts, this mistake is mistake of wrong date. It can be a mistake of wrong signature, wrong names of the two parties. All these kinds of mistakes are covered under mistake of fact. Now, coming on to my last essential element of lawful object. Now, of course, I am talking about lawful object. The object, the basic object or basic consideration of the contract has to be legal. That means it should not be prohibited in any of the law, or you are not convicting any of the law in the court. So, first, the contract must comply with different laws of the jurisdiction where it is being signed. So, completely we have to take care of, both the parties have to take care of different laws, different terms and conditions that are being said or written under the provisions of various acts where this jurisdiction lies over there, and then we have to enter into the contract. Secondly, if we say the contract that violates the law becomes unenforceable. So, I have been continuously talking about the absence of any of the essential elements. So, now if I say absence of any of the essential elements, it invalidates the contract at all, and further, if it includes illegal terms and conditions, it further makes it illegal also. So all those agreements which have illegal object or illegal elements, these types of contracts become illegal or void. Thirdly, if I talk about the contract becomes illegal by action or product cannot be enforced. So if the contract becomes illegal or invalid, such contract becomes unenforceable. The court or law will not take it as a contract at all. So this kind of contract will remain a agreement. It will not convert into a contract at all. Now the last is contract that involves criminal activity. So of course, any of the activity, any of the terms or conditions that are included in the contract by party A or by party B, this should not be prohibited in any other law, and this should not be declared as criminal activities under different laws. So if it comes into the contract, if this kind of activity, terms and conditions comes into the contract, the contract becomes invalid, thus it becomes illegal, and thus further it becomes void. Then lastly, I would like to say that all contracts having essential elements are called as agreements. We were discussing all the contracts are agreement, but all agreements are not contract. So that's all for today. We will be again meeting up with the next topic, that is types of contract and how these types of contract are implemented between both the parties. We can describe the types of contract as invalid, valid, illegal and void on that basis. Thank you for today.